The first question for today is question number 12, which is a weight and volume question. The first part of the question asks us to find the volume of the tank. Well, we know that the tank is above 80 cm. Exactly how many? Let's take a zoom in and look. What we need to do is between 0 and the first known marking, which is 20, we need to ask ourselves how many separations are there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means to say 0 to 20 cm, 4 separations. So 20 over 4 equals 5, which means to say each separation is 5 cm. This is a very important thing to take note of. Some of the separations are not what you expect. Okay, so the height is 85 cm. So what then is the volume? Well, it's all provided from 125 and 80. So let's multiply those together. Be very careful to make sure that all three numbers, length times breadth times height, length times breadth times height, all of these are all in the same measurement, meaning to say all are unit cm or all are meters. So for this case, all are cm. So this is part A. In the second part, they're asking us, in 1 minute, how much water flow into B? From tab B. So what happened if you look at the graph carefully, you will realize the graph will have turned somewhere around here. When the graph turned right, it means that there was a little bit of water coming down from 0 to 3 minutes. And after 3 minutes, because it turned to be more steep, right, there will be a lot more water coming. And who is the a lot more water coming from? Coming from tab B. So there are just a few steps to take note of. First, look at how much the water has increased over 1 minute. Step 2, find out exactly what belongs to A. And lastly, the total minus A will be B. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Okay, so in order to find how much water has come in between the 3 to 8 minute, right, I would just suggest to take 2 points, but you realize that none of the points cut nicely. The best 2 points to take, I would suggest is this one, 8 minutes. And the other one I would suggest to just take the third minute. So third minute. So, okay. So what it says is this: 85 minus 15 is 70 cm. 8 minutes minus 3 is 5 cm. And 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, water went up by 70 cm. So how much water go up by in 1 minute? It will be 14 cm. Okay. The height increased by 40 cm in 1 minute. But remember, this includes A and B. So how to remove A? Okay, remember the earlier part of the graph, only A was flowing. Just to highlight this portion, only A was flowing. So what we can do is we can find A's rate first. So same thing, A is from 3 minutes. He flowed 15 cm, right? So 1 minute, 5 cm. Okay, so we are done because total is 14, A is 5, hence B has to be 9 cm per 9 liters per minute. 9 cm per minute. Okay. Now 9 cm per minute does not solve the problem because we want the answer question is asking how many liters. Okay. So you still take 9 cm times the base area. So you got to go for 9 times 125 times 80. And that is the answer. Now let's move on to the next one. This is a very interesting area question. Normally, I would say area questions are simple and it doesn't really involve any other heuristics. But for this one, it requires a bit more. This is what happens. The rectangle and four identical 3/4 circles, right? The length and the breadth of the rectangle is a ratio of 13:10. This is 13:10. Okay, now we are kind of stuck on what to do next normally. But actually, this is a difference and change strategy. Do you realize that even though it's 13:10, the red portions will be equal to the green portions? Okay, so it's like a different change strategy actually. Okay, so what is the difference then? The difference is 13 units minus 10 units equals 3 units. And in cm, it's actually 20 cm minus 40. Equals 6 cm. Hence, 3 unit equals 6 cm. 1 unit equals 2 cm. So what is the length of the full? What's the full length? It will be 26 cm. And the whole breadth will be 20 cm. Now, since the length is 26 and we have 20 that's given, right? It means that the radius is 3, 3 and 3. And we can double check by looking at the breadth. Since the given is 14 and the total is 20, right? So this is 3 and 3. Okay, so we confirm that the radius is 3. And I think we should write it down. Radius equals 3. Okay, so the first part asks us to find the perimeter of the figure. It's very simple, right? We just need to find 4 times 3/4 circles, which is equals to 4 times height times 3/4 times, remember, for perimeter and circumference we use the diameter, not 3, it's 6. 6 here. Okay. So given that pi is a given number, let me just use my calculator to get this number out for us. So you should get 56.52. So what is exactly 56.52? Let me circle it. 1, 2, 3. But we're not done, because after taking care of this, we still need to include the straight lines. 14, 20, 14, and 20. So 56.52 plus 20 plus 20 plus 14 plus 1. That will be the answer for A. But remember, it's cm. So that's done for part A. Okay, part B, even simpler. Part B is even simpler. Let me get a new screen for us. Part B just wants us to find the area. So we actually know the area of this, right? 26 times 10. Sorry, times 20. So that will be And then we just need to find four sets of a circle, but not really a circle, 3/4 of a circle. So 4 sets of a circle, but they are 3/4 circles. So you should get this. So finally, just add these two numbers together. And you're done. Area of everything. Okay, the last question for today will be this pattern question. Okay. Remember the last lesson I spoke about pattern. First, you must create a total column, right? Actually, it's given already. Okay. So this one done. Okay. And remember, I gave you all a few strategies to think about. Let me very quickly run through them. Fixed interval, square numbers, sum of consecutive numbers. We got alternating number. Alternating number means +3, +2, +3, +2, +3, +2, +3. Yeah, these are the 4 main one. There's one more. Even pattern means every time it's an odd shape, odd pattern number, you can see some special thing. When it's an even pattern number, you see a special thing. Something special. Okay, now let me tell you what is what. Number of circles is fixed interval because it's always +4, +4, +4, +4. Yeah. The rest of the things can't really be used because this is +4, +6, +8. While there's a formula towards this, it's something very difficult. So I don't even want to go into that. How about the total? The total is always +8, +10, +12. So same thing. It's a sum of consecutive number, but it jumps by 2. There's formula to do it, but I don't really want to do it. Yeah, because at this stage we don't want to teach formulas really. Okay, so what can we do? Yeah, if you realize something very special, they are always in a squarish or rectangularish shape. You can see squarish or rectangularish. Okay, whenever it's squarish or rectangularish, it means that there must be a length times the breadth, right? And then the length will go up a bit, and the breadth will go up a bit. And then the length will go up a bit more, and the breadth will go up a bit. So let's analyze it closely and see what we see. Okay. You can see that for figure 1, right, the triangle is actually 1 times 2. 1 being the figure. For figure 2, right, it's actually 2 times 3. With 2 being the figure. For figure 3, do you realize it's actually 3 times 4? With 3 being the figure. It means to say a triangle is always figure times 1 more above the figure. Okay. Figure times 1 more above the figure. So if we go for 5, right, figure times 1 more plus the figure, it will be 30. So this is triangle. You can with confidence do this. Circle, very simple, just +4. Now, many of us will be scratching our head to say, wow, we found the trend for triangle and circle. Let's find the trend for total. My answer to you is don't bother. You know why? Because total is simply triangle plus circle. Okay? So you don't really need to find the third one really. It'll be very cool, but it doesn't make sense to spend any time on that. Okay, so let's go for the question. Part B. A figure has 240 triangles. Okay. What figure number is that? Okay, now. So if it's 240 triangle, right? It should be figure times figure plus 1, right? Now, there are ways to do this in a formula way, but that involve you all doing with square numbers. If you all can handle it, you can go for this. F squared plus F. Then you slowly get a check from here. But if you can't handle it, my suggestion to you is this. You know, since F and F plus 1 is like very close to each other, why not we take 240, we square root. We square root. Then we get two numbers which is supposed to be the same, right? But because they're only one apart, then same numbers will be very close to your final answer. So my suggestion is take 240, you square root, you should get 15 point something. Okay. So my for guess and check, don't guess and check from 15 because it can be 16 or it can be 14. But if you guess at 15 exactly, right, you don't know whether next, if it's wrong, right, you don't know whether to guess 16 or 17 or is it 14 or 13. You don't know where to go. My suggestion is start lower. So if it's 13, right, it's 15, right, we try figure 14 first. So 14 times F plus 1 is 15, right? You should get 210. Okay. Figure 14. So you try figure 15, so leave out times 16. And voila, 13. So the answer is figure 15. Either you put F here on the top or you underline so that you know this is the figure number. I'm very scared you got the answer 240, then you put 16 as the answer. Then we will have wasted our time. Okay. So while this is guess and check and it requires a bit of luck, there's actually a systematic way to guess and check. Okay. So do a square root and take maybe one or two numbers below it. You can start from 13, I'm fine. I'm fine with starting from 13. Okay, now, next one. Total number of triangle and circle in 100. Okay, so now, while we do not know exactly how to find the total, we have no means of those formulas, right? Remember I said we have triangle and circle, we don't care about total. So let's do exactly that. So triangle, right? Triangle is basically 100 times 101. So that's 10100. Okay, circle is a little bit tougher. Okay, realize circle is always plus 4, but it didn't start from 4. If it's always plus 4, right, figure 1 will be 4, figure 2 will be 8, figure 3 will be 12, and figure 4 will be 16. But no. Why? Because they started off with, even with without anything, they will always have 2 more with it, even without anything. Okay? So you realize 6, 10, 14, 18. So this thing is called a constant, but we are not about doing any big words here. We are telling you that, well, it's always plus 4. It's always plus 4, so you can use the 4 times table. But remember, even before anything happened, there's always 2 sitting there already. Okay. So without further ado, then it's just 100 times 4. But remember, there's always 2 sitting there. Okay, so you should get 800. Okay, so the answer should be 10100 plus 800. Okay, 10100